Good morning. Today is Wednesday, August 21st, 2024. Today in history. On this day 415 years ago, Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei invented the first astronomical telescope. He pointed it at the moon, marking the first scientific observation of the lunar surface. Welcome to today's Qingxiao Morning News. Let's start with political updates.
Thailand's former PM Thaksin granted royal pardon. Comprehensive news from Bangkok. On August 17, former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra was pardoned by King Maha Vajiralongkorn and regained his freedom one day after his daughter, Paetongtarn, became Prime Minister. Thaksin's parole, originally set to end at the end of August, was granted early as part of the king's 72nd birthday celebrations. Thaksin's name was among over 50,000 pardoned prisoners. Thaksin returned to Thailand from China on August 22 last year after 15 years in exile. He was immediately arrested, convicted of corruption, and sentenced to 8 years in prison. Due to health issues, he was moved to the Bangkok Police General Hospital and later had his sentence commuted to 1 year. Thaksin was paroled on February 18 this year. He still faces prosecution for lèse-majesté, which could result in up to 15 years in prison if convicted. South Korean president proposes unification strategy. Yonhap news agency reported that on the 79th anniversary of liberation celebration in Seoul, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol proposed assistance, dialogue, and a path to reunification with North Korea. He suggested establishing a working-level dialogue mechanism between the two Koreas to address various issues, including easing tensions, promoting economic and cultural exchanges, responding to disasters and climate change, and reuniting families separated by the Korean War. Yoon emphasized that South Korea is willing to engage in political and economic cooperation if North Korea takes steps toward denuclearization, potentially leading to substantial progress in their relations. However, this proposal has faced strong criticism from South Korea's opposition parties, who argue that the government should not overlook historical issues. Japan's defense spending hits new record. Japanese news reports that Japan's defense authorities are preparing to request a larger budget for new weapons in the coming year, citing the need to strengthen island defense. By the end of August, Japan's defense budget is set to exceed 8 trillion yen, the highest since World War II. Under Prime Minister Fumio Kishida's administration, Japan has initiated a 5-year military spending expansion plan, allocating 43 trillion yen from 2023 to 2027 to acquire new weapons and significantly enhance national defense. This amount is 5 times larger than previous budgets. U.S. grants $4.6 billion to Texas Instruments. Bloomberg News reports that on August 16, the U.S. Department of Commerce announced that the federal government will provide $1.6 billion in grants and $3 billion in loans to Texas Instruments under the 2022 CHIPS and Science Act. The funds will support the construction of a new plant in Utah and 2 plants in Texas. Texas Instruments, a major semiconductor manufacturer with the largest customer base in the industry, is also expected to benefit from a 25% tax credit from the CHIPS and Science Act, potentially worth $6 billion to $8 billion. New Zealand charity's candy found to contain meth. Agence France-Presse reported that on August 14, pineapple candies distributed by a charity in New Zealand were discovered to contain high doses of methamphetamine. Police have launched a criminal investigation and are tracing over 400 individuals who may have received the contaminated candies. The candies were anonymously donated in sealed branded packages and included in food gift packs for beneficiaries. Authorities suspect that traffickers or dealers may have hidden the drugs in the candies to evade detection. Johnson & Johnson talc lawsuit hits key milestone. Reuters reports that Johnson & Johnson has overcome a key hurdle in its $6.5 billion baby powder compensation agreement by limiting liability to a subsidiary it created to handle the lawsuit. Johnson & Johnson faces numerous lawsuits alleging that its baby powder, which contained talc, led to cancer due to asbestos contamination. Asbestos is a known carcinogen associated with mesothelioma. Although the company denies the claims, it ceased selling talc-based baby powder in the US and Canada in May 2020. Vietnam's Hanoi, Nam Dinh, and Quang Nam dishes named national treasures. Vietnam news agency reports that Vietnam's Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism has added Hanoi pho, Nam Dinh pho, and Quang noodles to the National Intangible Cultural Heritage List as forms of folk knowledge. These additions, recommended by locals, are recognized for their representation of community values and local characteristics. They showcase the cultural diversity and creativity passed down through generations. Vietnam's Cultural Heritage Department currently lists nearly 500 items on the National Intangible Cultural Heritage roster.
According to the Wall Street Journal, lithium carbonate futures prices have recently declined, with the main contract falling 3.21% to 72,400 yuan per ton. That's all for today's Ching Cheo Morning News. Thanks for watching. Join us at the same time tomorrow.